Hey everybody, welcome back to Rock Room. This week we're going to be cutting some Mookaite. If people aren't familiar, Mookaite comes from Australia. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, but first I will show you the piece I'm going to be cutting so I can lock it in the vise and start cutting on it. And it comes in a bunch of different varieties of colors. Of course, it's it's Wisconsin, so yeah, it's pretty cold. I heard it's supposed to warm up, but I'll be out on the road, so let's look at some Mookaite that I'll be cutting. Alright, so this is the piece I'll be cutting. Like I say, it comes in a bunch of different colors. Reds, golds, beige, purples. It even has, sometimes they'll have this layer of kind of like iron on the bottom of it, or in between the layers. You can see little dendrites growing on there. So yeah, you can see the metallic, the metal little layer growing in there, or on top of. I see where them little dendrites are. That's a layer of metal going there too. But so yeah, we're gonna cut this piece, and actually what and it's pretty cool looking. Oh, when it's heavy. And actually what I'm going to be looking for out of this is I'm actually going to be looking for some of this yellow. I got a project I need some yellow, so I'm going to see if I can find some good yellow. Of course, this is dry. I don't want to get it wet because I'm going to be putting it in the saw. So I'm going to lock this in the saw and start cutting it and see what it looks like. Yeah, here's the first piece I cut off that piece of Mookaite. Pretty cool looking. See where that big seam is there. That's where the hematite is, or iron. And that's what's giving it that red stain right along that seam. But yeah, pretty cool. Alright, here's the next piece. Get some wild colors and patterns in there. Alright, here's the next one. Really looking cool in there. And I got that sunset look right there. Lots of streaks up on top. This is pretty, let's say, pretty good sized chunk too. All right, here's the next one. You see how it's getting those cool looking fingers up on top. That's a pretty wild looking piece. Here's the next one. And I'm holding these quite a ways because, like I say, this is a pretty sizable chunk. You know, it's got cool looking pattern, but as you can see with these fractures, this is definitely needs to be stabilized. And like I say, there's a bunch of different things you can use to stabilize. Opticon or Cactus Juice. There's a few other brands too, but yeah, wow. Really, really nice. This is a good hefty chunk. Alright, here's the next one down. Now you're starting to get these wavy, kind of like wavy lines in there. On this side. And this is a big from like the last three set slabs that didn't break off right. Pretty nice piece. I like that lavender color there. All right, here's the next one. Really wild looking. That'd be a good place to do a cabin right there. Doesn't appear to be fractured. It's got that nice line pattern through there. Okay, so now I took that rock and I spun it around and I started cutting off the other side just to see what we'd get for a different look from the other side, because it looked a lot different. And yeah, so there's the other side. Kind of neat, almost like a sunset there too, over the mountains, over the cliffs. Yeah, pretty cool. You kind of see it keeping that sun pattern. It's got a little ring around the sun. Different look, but yeah, pretty cool. Alright, here's the next one. Now you got a real big halo around the sun there. Good contrast from the yellow to the pink there, and this is, I was talking about the yellow I need there. There's a good piece of yellow. I'll definitely have to use this piece for that yellow that I was looking for. This is a good bright colored yellow. All right, here's the last chunk I took off of this rock. I was thinking that sun was going to kind of just disappear, and then yeah, look at that. Look at that halo around that. That's really cool looking. And of course, this is what's left of the chunk. And like I say, there's that halo around that sun, and it's still, you know, this is a pretty at least half my finger. So still a big beefy piece yet here to cut on. I can't even hold it back far enough to get it in the camera here. But yes, a good lot of cutting to do on here yet. I got plenty off this rock, so we'll look at some other ones. Alright, now here's the next one I started cutting. This isn't the end piece, because the end piece just broke in like 4 pieces, so it's too hard to hold. So this is the first good slab that came off of it. And again, you can see it always has that nice red pattern. This seems to be real solid, doesn't seem to be as fractured. You know, it's not looking like it's fractured in there like the other one did. So yeah, pretty cool though. Now here's the next one in. And yeah, you can see some real interesting stuff going on right in there. Definitely the cab part of the stone right in there. Alright, here we go. Move along, nice swirl there. I say you can't see any fractures in this. You can see, like right there, you see where the water's drying? That means that's real soft there. So that's like the softer part of the stone. I mean, it could be where there's just oil on it, but just by the look of it, it looks like it's a softer area. So, yes. And then now, yeah, look at that side. Let's see if I can get a whole picture. Wow, that's a nice slab. That is just crazy. There are slabs or cabs sitting all over in this chunk. So yeah, I just took a couple slices off of this one, but again, you can see the size of these. You know, it's considerable. There's, you know, there's hours of fun on here, and I'm sure that as you go through there, the patterns just keep changing and changing and changing. But again, yes, what a beautiful material. All right, now here's a little chunk I started cutting on. And again, you can see there's got that hematite fracture there, but this down here looks pretty solid. But yeah, nice blood vein pattern. Now here's the next little piece. Yeah, that's got some cool looking contrast with those red lines running through there. Nice. All right, next piece. See, we lost almost all of our gold color, orange or yellow, whatever you want to call it. It's all pretty much gone. Oh, there's a little bit there yet. Got some little gold lines starting to form. Oh, that's, you know, there's our future. There's a nuclear explosion there going on. Don't want to say that, but pretty weird. Yeah, here's the next piece. See, it's got them gold, that little bit of gold in that lines. There's some more of that gold streaking. Not bad. Now, this is one of the gold ones I started cutting on, or yellow. Like I say, I needed that yellow, so this was another option for my yellow. Here's another piece. You know, it's got this bright little section in there, but you know, it's almost got that kind of a cloud to it, which just doesn't make it a bright yellow. Not like that other piece, not like this piece, which is more of a golden yellow. There, you can see there, starting to fade fast with the yellow, and starting to get replaced by the webbing of the red. Alright, here's another one. Now that yellow is kind of coming back again. It's got some couple cool looking streaks. You know, and then with, like I say, with the hardness of material, you can always do the clink test. You can hear how glassy that sounds. That's just letting you know how hard something is when you get that cool. And hardness has nothing to do with, you know, because stuff gets hard and glassy. You know, if you're familiar with glass, that makes it very brittle. So it can be hard, but it needs to be hard and tough, which would be like a jade, which is probably doesn't have that clinky stuff, but it's very tough. So this is really hard, but really fractured. You can drop this and it would break in 100 pieces. All right, here's one of the last ones I cut. And this is the outside piece, and obviously this piece broke off, but wait till you see this. Would you look at that? Wow, is that wild looking. You can even see the little dendrite right there. Cool looking piece. There's the next one in. Yeah, wow. Is that not wild? Dude, right there, look at it. It's an angry shark. There's his little eye swimming through the ocean of... Swimming through Australian Ocean. Love it. Alright, here's the next one. Let me see that pattern just... Man, there's just so much going on in there. That's just wild. Oh, and there's that shark on the other way. Man, that's a beautiful rock. Now here again, they're starting to get really big towards the center of the rock. And again, this rock has a lot more to cut off of, but wow. That's just wild looking. Ooh, now you got a big white streak coming in that yellow. But still, that Saturn, you know, that's just crazy looking. You couldn't even paint this, something like this. It's so abstract. Oh, that's just beautiful. Dang. So, all right, this is our little piece of Mookaite, and I drew the roughed out where I want our cab to be, and I used to have it like this would be our front side, this would be our back side, but now with the addition of this new tool, I don't really think that'll matter anymore. So this will actually be our front side. So now we can get a good look at what our front side will look at, because I will show you what I can do with this new tool I got. So now, as I showed before, this little tool I had a friend of mine make, Ron Hoppus. If some of you remember, he was my first winner from season 1. Him and Up North Adventures with CCC was the other winner, and of course we all have seen all her beautiful banded iron and Conan dolomite and the fossils that she finds, and she sent me a bunch of that stuff. So Ron had made this, and he's got the same kind of machine I got. It's a Kingsley 8-inch, and it's the big 8-inch one. So what this does, if people are cab makers, you know, a lot of us are free hands, but basically what this does is this gives you that exact angle you need. So now when you cut this out, it'll be the perfect angle on the sides that you need. So no more messing around, no more, you know, standing here freehanding and stuff. Ooh, look at that, it's starting to wear out there. So no more freehanding. You'll be able to just put it, and of course I'm going to trim this down first, obviously. But there'll be no more freehanding. you can just hold this right on this little, and of course it's got a little step on the back there, so you'll be able to just hold this nice and flat and then do your trimming, and your edges will be perfect. So I'll trim this down and then we'll throw around the wheels, and I'll show you what that's all about. So now you can see that cab a little bit better. Now this is going to give me the angle that I want when I go around here. Give me that perfect little angle. So I will go ahead and fine tune this and kind of show you the angles that we're looking for. Okay, so now we got our angle on there. So when you put this into a setting, this part will be, the bottom will be narrower, so when you drop, you can drop it into a setting and it's not going to hang up anywhere in the setting itself. And then now we can take the top and we can do our cab on top of that. So I'll show you what I mean about a bezel setting. Hold on a second. So okay, here we got a flat piece of silver here, and like this is going to be our stone, and this is your bezel wire. So now when you go and wrap this around your stone, and of course I'm just doing this lightly, you know, you want to wrap it tight. So now when I cut this out, this bezel wire, let me back out just a little bit here. Oh, wrong way. So now when I would cut this out and I would solder this joint right here, so then I get the size of the stone, and of course I'm not doing it, but say I did do it, and I soldered this down, so this would be the shape of our stone, and I soldered this piece up. Now you have to solder this to your silver plate, and of course you cut this plate out to be the size of your stone too. And when you solder this down, this joint right here, don't have anything to point, but the edge where the two edges are touching, that's going to be where your silver solder goes in there. And it's not always a true perfect edge from this flat to that flat. There's usually a little bit left in there. So when you have that little bit of an angle there, when those two edges meet each other, I'm sorry, I'm fumbling around here. So when those two meet each other, you're going to have that little bit of gap in there. So this stone will fit flat on your silver plate, and that's what you want. And then of course your bezel wire will go over the top, and then you'll just put it. I can't think right now, but so that's what that angle's for, is for giving you that little bit of play in there when you set this in. So I'll finish buffing or polishing this and cutting it out. Okay, here's our finished Mookaite cab. It's completely dry. You can see what a beautiful shine that takes. You can see that little hematite strip going down the middle. That's your Mookaite. Beautiful material. Takes a fantastic polish.